Hi guys, this is gsm.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the POCO M4 Pro, the 4G version which was launched at Mobile World Congress 2022. The 5G one was unveiled last fall. So we're dealing here with an affordable handset with a good looking backside, particularly if you get the more colorful versions, and the unmistakably POCO approach as far as the brand identity goes with yellow and black. Okay, so it's an unboxing. I'm going to focus on what's on the box and some first impressions, even though I've already handled this device back in Barcelona at Mobile World Congress. So their distinctive feature is the elongated camera area. Here, even on the budget phones, they're applying that. This is plastic material, making the phone feel a bit lighter. We have this flat frame here. So Xiaomi has adopted the flat frame for the Redmi series, and POCO adopted the flat frame for its latest handsets. This is the POCO M4 Pro 4G, priced at around $250. It's got a large battery, 5000 mAh. It's got a triple back camera here. It's got quite the looks, and I would say a pretty solid Snapdragon 4G processor, as well as an AMOLED screen, which oddly enough it was not present on the 5G version, which stuck with an IPS LCD. Okay, so the screen is pretty bright, as you can see for yourself. Let's actually turn it down a bit. I think this should suffice. And now let's see what's inside the box. First of all, we have this envelope here, which includes the key used to access the slots, a bunch of manuals, warranty and all that. This is the warranty card. This is the safety information, SAR and all, and this is the quick start guide which teaches you about the handset. Of course, we also get a case with quite the large cutout at the backside for the camera area, transparent and flexible case, of course. Okay, also inside the box we have this cable here, going from an USB-C here to a full USB-A on the other side, and it hooks up to this charger, a 33-watt unit as it's written here, with an USB-A connector. It should juice up the phone pretty fast, something like, I don't know, maybe 58 minutes for a full charge. That's what it's written on paper for the handset. Okay, so the POCO M4 Pro 4G version, not to be mistaken with the 5G version. Let's talk about the design first. Definitely helps to have flat edges here on account of the fact that it's pretty easy to grip. It's quite comfy to grip. It's made of plastic. The backside is very glossy. There was a lot of fingerprints, lint, dust and all that. It measures 8.1 millimeters in thickness, maybe beefier around the camera area, and weighs 179 grams, which is actually not bad for a 5000 mAh battery phone. The body has an IP53 certification, which means it's dust and splash resistant. And well, that's pretty much it. On the front side, if you look closely, you're going to spot a screen protection, a plastic one, which will keep the screen away from scratches, at least for a few days. Now the display you're seeing right here is an AMOLED, you got that right, 6.43 inches, the sweet spot for gamers. It offers 90 Hz refresh rate and Full HD Plus resolution, as well as Gorilla Glass 3 protection and a punch hole at the top side for your selfie camera needs. Now the processor inside here is a MediaTek, hopefully it gets properly identified by this app. Okay, so not identified, but let me tell you, it's a MediaTek Helio G96 12nm octa-core chip, which was also found on the Realme 8i and the Redmi Note 11 Pro 4G. Just for the sake of curiosity, let's see if this app properly identifies it. Nope, this one doesn't as well. Now back to the other one. Aside from the CPU you saw before, we have 6 gigs of RAM and 120 gigabytes of storage, but there are versions with 8 gigs of RAM, 64 or 256 gigabytes of storage. We also have a dedicated microSD card slot, aside from the dual SIM ones, dual nano SIMs. And here we have a 5000 mAh battery, which charges at 33 watts. Not bad. I'm pretty sure it can easily reach more than 1 day of average usage, perhaps even 2, perhaps even more. Another good piece of news, there's still an audio jack here and a set of stereo speakers. I'm talking about these holes here for one of the speakers and these holes for the other speakers. Microphone here, USB-C 2.0, At the top side, an infrared emitter, which helps you control the TV set. Next to it, another microphone. Now, aside from that, the flat power button here embeds the fingerprint scanner. If I press this finger, nothing happens. If I use this one, instant unlock, pretty fast and snappy. On the connectivity side of things, you're going to be getting only 4G, as well as Wi-Fi dual band, Bluetooth 5.0, GPS, GLONASS, Beidou, AGPS, Galileo, and let's see if there's NFC on this version I'm playing with here. For your payment needs, yes, there's NFC. On the camera front, if you deactivate the dark mode, you're going to see this punch hole here, which hosts a 16 megapixel shooter for your selfie needs. If you go to the back side, this one is a triple camera with all these bells and whistles and the large grandeur design. There are only 3 sensors here. This is the LED flash, this is an AI inscription, this is the main 64 megapixel shooter, f1.8 aperture, face detection autofocus, and then the other 2 8 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro LED flash, and only Full HD video capture here, sadly at 30 frames per second. Now the camera interface is pretty straightforward and similar to what you're seeing on other, well, I would say Xiaomi phones. Panorama, short video, full 64 megapixel resolution shots, documents, portrait is of course a part of the package. There's a night mode, there's a photo mode with AI here as well, plus other options like macro, tilt shift and timed burst. This is the video department, which sadly confirms the Full HD thing, but at least you can also shoot macro videos, and a Pro mode, which applies 4 photos, exposure, ISO, shutter, focus and white balance, as well as videos. So photos and videos. The software is actually Android 11 with MIUI 13 applied on top of it. There's supposed to be a sort of POCO modifications here, sort of POCO launcher, but they're being kept to a minimum compared to an average Xiaomi phone. You got the news feed here on this side. You got your multitasking with 2 columns. You got the app drawer organized by these categories. You got the split section here with the control center inspired by iOS, and the notifications from here. You can pinch the screen to access the widgets, which haven't been changed in Xiaomi's UI for a while now, and also some cute wallpapers, including some pretty good looking live ones. And that's pretty much it. You also have always on display and game turbo for the gamers, while among the more interesting pre-installed apps, there's definitely WPS Office for your productivity needs. There's also security, which basically is a hub of the device well-being, security, battery, boost speed, manage apps, Facebook cleaner, and so much more to keep the device fast and secure. My first impression, it's a trend nowadays. They're launching pretty solid 4G phones. I mean, 5G is already mainstream, but getting the proper balance for a powerful 4G phone may matter to most people than you think. Aside from this black version, there's also a blue one and of course a beautiful yellow one, so you may want to get that one if you really are keen on emphasizing the quality of the brand and showing off that you have a POCO phone. Now, that's pretty much everything we had to say about this device. Now, the first contact, I would say I'm impressed by the screen and also by the fact that the phone is very easy to handle with a single hand and easy to wield, as you just saw in this unboxing. That's it from gsn.com. We'll be back with more pretty soon. Goodbye.